Hello, everybody. This is Elder Kevin Harris with No Marriage Left Behind and Take the Journey Enterprises. I am here once again on Taco Tuesday. I am excited today. Why am I excited today? Because you are here, for first of all, and I thank you for being with us and being a part of something great. My goal is, and all of our goals that are on the panel, is to share information with you to give you better insight on how to strengthen your marriage. The goal has always been the same, to strengthen your marriage, but not only just to strengthen your marriage, but not just to be roommates and just to pay bills together. We want you to have a fulfilled, fruitful marriage. And in order to do that, we felt it was a time. This is the time to share information of our experience of years of being married, and then I'm giving you some clinical data also to back what really I've been saying for a long time. And sometimes it takes that, sometimes it takes, a little bit. It's just like a parent to children. Sometimes, they might have to hear it from a second person, and that's okay. So I just want to make sure that you know that you are appreciated. Those of you throughout all the world, through social media, through different places, family, friends, or what alike, that we are doing this because God values the marriage. He has assigned us for this particular point in time to let you know that marriage, He values the marriage. And the way to value the marriage is by getting information, applying information, and then avoiding pitfalls from the information that's gathered. It makes no sense to get all this information, don't apply it, and you still fall into the same trap that so many have fell into before. I just don't understand. I don't want you to be that person, okay? That you get information that sits on the coffee table and not apply it to your life. Today we're going to talk about a very subject that people are quiet about, especially in the churches. The churches don't want to talk about sex. Oh my God, the word sex is like, as if they did not procreate, you know what I'm saying, or their parents did. So, but throughout the years, and not just the church, but of course being an elder of the Church of Lord Jesus Christ, I have to talk from my perspective. It was deja vu. It was not to be talked about. It was to figure it out. But we live in a time now where there has to be clarity. Okay, clarity needs to be understood because there are different things that are going on that you need to be clear and concise about. What I put down for this particular subject on the curriculum is dealing with the bed undefiled. Okay, and it says being open to new things or closing old ones. All right, now your intimate moment with your spouse is yours. Let's make that perfectly clear. But I admonish you to to communicate with one another as to how you go about doing it. Okay, that is very important because there may be, if you're not on the same page, then there's a misunderstanding. And what does misunderstanding create? Tension, and tension defeats the whole time. Okay, and then causes resentment and then lack of intimacy. All right, so make sure you both are on the same page as to what direction you want to go when you're intimate. Now, here's a subject matter that subject matter, but I got this from the psychological study from marriage.com, and I'm going to back up what I just said. Okay, I've been saying it a long time that you have to talk about communication is important to talk about when you're in those intimate moments, because again, there's something you may not like, something you may like, something you may like more than others, and you just kind of maneuver around. Okay, but check this out right here. Intimacy strengthens the bond by deepening trust and closeness, helping each other partner feel seen and valued, and it grows when both listen with care. Just said that. Open communication matters about desires, boundaries, and rhythms, aligning expectations, reigniting connection, and addressing friction before it creates distance. Sex supports well-being by releasing feel-good hormones. However, marriage changes with time. Bodies change, routines settle, emotions deepen. Somewhere between shared responsibilities and quiet evenings, physical closeness can begin to feel complicated or quietly powerful. Sex isn't just about desire or frequency, it's about feeling chosen, relaxed, and understood. It it can soften arguments, restore confidence, and remind two people that they are still very much us. not just partners in logistics. The importance of sex in marriage often shows up in subtle ways through better sleep, lighter mood, stronger trust, and a sense of emotional safety that words alone can't always reach. What is sex? Marriage.com has defined sex. Sex is an intimate physical activity where people arouse their partner or themselves by way of words or touch. For some, sex might only mean the act of sexual intercourse, and for some, it might mean touching the genitals or kissing and cuddling. Across two studies, 7,800 participants across 37 countries, that's a lot of people, love was consistently and positively associated with affectionate touch behaviors such as hugging, kissing, and stroking. Findings suggest affectionate touch is a stable universal feature of romantic relationships strongly linked to reporting levels of love. Human beings are programmed to seek sex. It is a desire innate within all of us, and we tend to fulfill this desire with our partner. Sex is an important part of marriage. Now, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here and say this. Everything they said makes perfect sense. It adds value. Now, for those that have medical conditions or different things, I want to make sure you understand that everything doesn't fit everybody. But I'll go back to the original thing I said, that if there is a conversation to be had, you have it and you work with it. You see what I'm saying? You work with what you have. Do not allow yourself to be defeated because you're not who you were. That's not what this is talking about, because the love and the attraction has not changed with your spouse. But what has changed is our mindsets tend to change when we think that we are less than. Don't allow yourself, don't allow yourself and the devil or the devil to tell you you're less than in your own space, okay, in your own mind, because your spouse probably does not think that way. So you have to sit down and talk about it and communicate with the bed undefiled, because God said before he said marriage is honorable before God and the bed undefiled. So then you work out your bedroom according to you and your spouse, okay? Now, those are the things I wanted to make sure I touch on, because again, everything doesn't apply to everybody, okay? So we have to make sure we understand those things and embrace them, and say, you know what? This is what it was, this is what it is, and we're going to keep it moving, okay? Because those things are very, very important in communication, all right? Now, this says, I'm going to throw this last thing in. It says, sex has some anti-aging benefits associated with it. Having sex releases anti-inflammatory molecules in our body, which aid in the repair work in our bodies. Our bodies continually experience damage and repair. So that was interesting. Did not know that. Okay, anti-aging. So I'm going to close for sake of time. Remember, communicate with each other, love on each other, and work out what works and what does not work for you and your spouse. Till next time, peace.